Matthew Aol Nyamlori is here to enjoy the fruits of education, even after pursuing it with passion, perseverance, and determination, all in the hope of qualifying for university admission. His is a story of writing KCPE exams 9 times and attaining excellent grades with each attempt in a bid to uplift himself, his siblings, and his parents. His 9th attempt at the primary school national exams finally saw Equity Bank's Wings to Fly scholarship program take him through all levels at Nairobi School. The B+ he got secured him a spot at Kenyatta University to pursue a bachelor's degree in public policy and administration. This is his story.
Yes, my name is Matthew Aol Nyamlori. I am a final year student in Kenyatta University, pursuing Bachelor of Public Policy and Administration. I have a living story, struggling to reach the level I am now. I was born in Bomet, Danai Division, Sotik Sub-County, Gelegele location, Kipsimbol Village. I started my primary school in Kipsimbol Primary School in Danai Divisions. That is in Rift Valley. My first language was Kipsigis. So I talk fluent Kipsigis, I talk fluent Luo. My parents were Luo, but it happened that we were born there. I am the 9th born in the family of 13. My father used to be a tailor by then, and my mom was a casual laborer. She used to work weeding people's farm in order to raise 13 children. So it was hard. It was a hard thing. So most of us were introduced to that kind of casual laborers. Even me, I remember starting doing it when I was in class 3. During our struggle in Rift Valley, it was a bit harder, but it happened that during that time, the primary school I was, it used to organize for Education Day. And those who qualify, you could get only one in the whole location was qualifying to join university. And this one person, he used to be rewarded, seriously rewarded, gaining respect from everybody else, managing to score a grade in Form 4 to join university. In those times, it was really celebrated. Also, by comparing when we were working in people's farm, when you get somebody who is employed or a civil servant, he used to live in a bit higher life compared to us who was struggling to get daily bread. So I was encouraged, and in fact, I started now being serious when I was in class 5. Then there is when I started being in top 3. Number 1, 2, 3, number 1, 2. I couldn't miss that, despite the fact that the life was hard at home. Unfortunately, there was 1992 classes, introduction of multipartyism in Kenya. So there was a struggle between Luos, Kisis, and those other tribes. We were left, the two of us, me and my brother, who is currently a teacher at Georgia Senior School Preparatory. We were left there to stay there, since even our house was set ablaze. And my parents ran away when they went back home to settle there. By good luck, a chief, by then he was a IAP officer. He took us to stay with us.
He wasn't a relative?
He wasn't. He was somebody, a resident, an inhabitant of those areas. He wasn't a relative at all. So the wife of the chief was compassionate. So when he heard that there are some Luos struggling, they don't have where to stay, and their parents ran away, he sent some people to come and pick us. Then we went and stayed with the chief. By then he was not a chief, he was a police officer, AP. So that one I was in class 5.
This is still Rift Valley.
Still in Rift Valley. So by then I used to milk. Yes, some dairy animals. So life now becomes, I have to do harder job to impress the person taking care of you. So I used to wake up very early in the morning. At 5:35, you milk 20 dairy animals. You rush with the milk to the roadside to be taken to KCC. You come back, you prepare, you rush to school. So I was balancing school and maintaining my work at Chief's place. Yes. So I struggle. Class 7, my brother was ahead of me. Then he also struggled. He scored, I think he scored 489, if I'm not wrong.
Which year is this?
That was 1995.
He scored 490.
489. He was out of 700. I remember he was admitted to Koiwa High School. The following year, I also sat KCPE. I scored 478 out of 500. Was admitted at Kabianga, but we couldn't join. I couldn't go to Kabianga High School. That was my first time in the year 1998. So my aunt was a teacher at Kuja School for the Deaf at Rongo. So the husband used to stay in Sotik. So we met the hand, and she encouraged us that we can go back and repeat in those sides and try and apply for Stare scholarship. 1999, I went back to class 8, Rongo Primary School. I resided with hand. Unfortunately, she was also transferred second term. I went to Rongo Primary School. Stayed with my aunt for a while. Then she was also transferred back to Soti to join the family. I remained there. I stayed a bit in the church, Power of Jesus Around the World Church.
So your aunt spoke to the leadership of the church to take care of you?
I went personally and spoke to the leader to the church to take care of me. They agreed for a while, and there was a bit some wrangles that people who are not born again and who are not the son of preacher should not stay in that. So I had some hurdles still staying there. I sat for KCPE, scored over 500, and that December I moved out, started doing Mjengo to survive. I moved out of the church.
So was there a school that granted you admission?
I was admitted at Kanga High School. I went to Kanga.
You never had school fees, so
I never had school fees, and I had a distant hand also who was who offered to support me in second term. I remember.
You joined?
I joined Kanga, but I bought everything by myself.
Yes.
Struggling, working, doing manual labor. Then I joined Kanga, Form 1. Form 2, second term. This person also had a problem because I used to go to home to work for her because he's supporting me. She's a distant relative. And the husband was not for me being supported. Her sister too. They were not for me being supported by her. So there was a struggle. Then she dropped when I was in Form 2. That was the year 2001. I stayed without doing anything. By then, Kanga, if you don't have fee, you can't stay in the compound. You pay fee, you stay in the compound. That was a rule. Then I decided, I said, hey, I have struggled. Those who dropped when I was sitting for KCP, some of them have gone for this skilled job or this mechanic, carpentry or what have you. But me, surely I have the brain. I should not drop out of school. I went back. I went back and registered at Kitere Primary School, just around Kanga High School. stayed in Kitere.
Where were you living?
I was living in a certain house in the school compound.
The teacher allowed you?
The teacher allowed me, and life was very, that is where I tested real life now. Because Saturday and Sunday I used to go and do Mujengo at Rongo. Trekking from Kitere to Rongo. Doing Mujengo, getting 200 is enough to maintain me. So I was not taking lunch. Lunch I used to move to sugarcane plantation. I get some guavas and sugarcane. I chew sugarcane. I went back to class. Afterwards, in the evening, I can do strong tea and some mandazi, yes. 2 mandazi. I survived that way the whole year. I scored 3.
Did the head teacher know about whatever you were going through, or they just gave it a day?
The head teacher knew, but he had so many students staying with him. Okay. The head teacher knew.
Why would you stay with him with these other pupils?
But there were many, and they were saying that we will be many now. So, because I was a bit senior among them, yeah. I offered to survive.
Sure. What was the name? Do you think he had the goodwill to see you succeed in life, go through school and pass and join a school where you get a sponsor to take you through school? Their teacher. How do you describe him?
Yes, it was after, because he had helped some people who had gone to national school, yeah. Before me going there. He had that intention, but being that he was also having family, yeah. And many people taking care, so I never wanted to give out pressure to, yeah. Somebody else. But I thank God he gave me an opportunity to repeat and register for KCPE.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he passed away.
Let's say you'd be sitting in front of you today. What words would you share with him?
Very a disciplinarian. We used to call him a Bondo Soj. Very a disciplinarian. Could not smile with you when you do a mistake.
He was a good man.
He was a good man.
Okay. So now you do your, this is your 3rd attempt.
That one is my 3rd attempt.
And you get how many marks?
387 out of 500.
That's now 500 now.
Yes.
387.
Yes.
Do you get admission to a school?
I was admitted to Rapogi High School.
It's another Kanga.
It's
another Kanga. Do you join school?
Never. I stayed. You know, over the holiday, that is where I was telling you, over the holiday, I used to reside in someone's bathroom, outside. You know, there in bathroom used to be outside the hotel.
Do you join?
I didn't join. I was saying that during that time is when I used to reside, over the holiday, I used to reside in someone's bathroom. And yes. I go do Mujengo, I put my clothing in a polythene bag, I hang them somewhere. At night I sneak in, I sleep.
This is a town,
Rongo town, yeah.
And then you use their bathroom.
Bathroom outside. That bathroom
it was accessible from outside.
Yeah, it had no fence. It had no fence. You see, because I could not manage even paying rent, I had nowhere to stay, just like a destitute. So when I was admitted at Rapogi, I had no hope. I went straight to Sony Sugar Primary.
Yes.
I met Mr. Ojuang Alois and I explained my...
Somebody directed you to him or you...
I used to check the level. Those who are going to Stare is from which primary school. I get Sony Sugar, somebody went to Stare this and this year. Let me try this, which means it is a better school.
Yes.
I went to Sony Sugar Primary. I also struggled. Life was struggling because still I had nowhere to stay. I was struggling alone, but a bit. Mr. Yuang, in fortnight, he used to give me 500. And that 500 I could.
You still using the bathroom?
No, by then I am in Awendo. I've transferred from Rongo to Awendo. Sony Sugar Primary.
Now, you've rented another house?
No, there was some houses, Mabati house, where the wall is iron sheet. Also, it's also iron sheet. Yes. So it goes at 100 per month.
100 shillings.
100 shillings per month.
Okay.
So I used to stay there, though meals I used to take in school, lunch and breakfast, then night.
Who would provide at school?
Teachers came at random, somebody saying, no, I'll be paying for Nini for this month, your breakfast for this month.
And most of them knew how you were performing.
I used to get over 450.
So they were just, I think they just wanted to be part of the success.
They wanted to be part of my success.
It happens when teachers and this also happened to me, I remember. When teachers know you are a promising student, they will always want to support you in their own way. And I think that was nice of them.
There was a support, but there was also psychological problem, because maybe you are supported during the day, you see.
Yes.
Then at night you don't have something to eat.
Yes.
You see, it is terrible. You don't have even fuel, paraffin to use to read.
Yes.
You see, it was a challenging event, you see. I sat for KCPE that year. I scored 399. Still, I was admitted again to Rapogi High School. Rapogi again.
This is now 4th attempt.
That is my 4th attempt. Struggling to get something.
So
during that time now, I said, I will never drop out of school. I have to complete. Because I wanted to also, there are those who were humiliating me because they have got support.
How do you mean you swore not to drop out? You weren't dropping, or it's just school fees that was making
it was school fees, but there was forces telling me there are so many people making it in life minus going to school. Yeah. So there is no way of struggling, all that, wasting your time.
You have to go through school.
Yeah, so I said, no, with me, I'll be close to people who can advise me. And I had a very good advisor who was our supervisor when I was sitting at Kitere Primary. He was called Mr. Ito.
Okay.
Mr. Ito comes from Ranen, and Ranen was next to Sony.
Yes.
So he used to advise me, saying, but I'm taking my degree now. It's when I'm taking my degree. And we have very old people. You see, there are so many people who are making it in school, never drop out of school. Mr. Oito. So he used to be one of my mentor and one of my advisor. So I struggled. After that, the director, Rangwe Junior Academy, heard of my story.
So you didn't join Rapogi?
I didn't join Rapogi. I went to Rangwe Junior Academy now, at least to get a boarding, conducive environment where I can
Who is going to pay for your
He accepted. He was a very generous director.
Yes.
He has been helping so many students. I remember during our time, Mr. Campbell, during our time, we used to be there around 10 people under scholarship. Yes, Everest Ocampo.
Yes.
He gave me full scholarship. I scored 434. I was admitted out of 500. I was admitted to Maseno School.
Your 5th attempt.
That is my 5th attempt.
What happens now?
I struggled first time when going to Maseno School, requesting alone, asking them if they can allow me to learn.
Yeah, sharing with them about you.
About me. And then I was being told to go and see the MP. I know by then the MP was my villager. I don't want to mention them.
The MP for your
Nyakach. Nyakach.
Oh.
So I come from Nyakach, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was my villager.
And you sure he knew about your story?
He knew me in person.
But what makes you think he probably never wanted to support you?
I don't know, because I frequented his office several times and the people there were even laughing. They were not after that. They were not after taking care.
And I think you are a rare, needy person who was performing well. Your parents were not able to support you through school, isn't it?
Yes.
And they knew. They had this information.
They knew. The people in that office knew me very well. And even without explaining my name, they know that this is the son of Nyamblori. So
what happens at Maseno?
Maseno, I joined in 2nd term and I became top 10. I joined in 2nd term is when the then principal allowed me to be in school. I was given uniform.
Did you pay any amount of money?
I paid only 6,000.
Who gave you this money?
Out of casual labor, out of my sweat.
So you start school at second term?
At second term. Second term, Maseno, Form 1, I completed my Form 1. Form 2, struggling started also. Because, you are sent away and there were bureaucracy. You cannot reach the principal easily. Even the secretary cannot allow you. See?
What?
There was a strong bureaucracy that you must chain of command.
Yes.
I was sent away of Maseno because of lack of fee. That time, I almost now giving up. I was almost giving up because by then, my classmates, some of them were in campus now. Most of them.
And some that you even scored better marks.
Very many. So I was even meeting some in Maseno University as I moved to Maseno High School, you see. And then 2007, that one was 2006. 2007, I came to Nairobi now. I said, hey, most of the scholarship organization is in Nairobi. I am telling you, I knocked several offices. I went even up to the PS education by then. I went to the director of education. I went to this Kenya Christian support, child support. I moved, knocked with the documents, asking them for support. But all were in vain. So I used to stay in Dandora. I'm residing with my cousin in Dandora. So I used to trek, going to the industrial area, Pemba Mila, to go do Mujengo, carrying big stones, you see. And in Mujengo, if you are a mtu wa mkono, fundi boy, you are the least in the site. You can be told, go and wash that thing, and you can't say no. You are washing it. You are the first person to report and you are the last person to leave after washing all the tools used by the fundis. So it was a tight thing. Eh? You are being given 200. You are using almost half of it for fare. You are remaining with less than 100 for survival. I say, hey, this is terrible. Hey, me to live in such a life? No. 2008, I went to Agorosare Primary. Oyugis. I met Mr. Ochieng Joma.
So you didn't take long in Nairobi?
Yeah, I didn't.
Same year?
1 year, struggling and doing casual job. Mujengo, that is. Yugis. So there I was given a room in the school compound. Imagine you are one person staying in a room, the school compound. Daytime you survive, nighttime is when you try to cook.
And Agorosare is a big school.
It's a big school.
So, once at the field.
The field with all the
school has a big field
with all the mosquitoes at night.
And then it is in the middle of the town.
Yeah.
And the place looks.
I struggled in Agorosare. Oh, weekend I used to weeding in people's farms, going to doing Mujengo. Weekdays I struggle reading, making sure that I get scholarship. There was people who were humiliating me, these boda guys, when they see you in short trousers. Yes. You are going to school, you see. But I never gave them listening. I could not. I just gave them deaf ears, assumed there is nothing taking place. I got 397. And I was admitted at Maranda High School.
This is your 6th or 7th attempt?
5th attempt.
Okay, so you were admitted to Maranda?
Maranda High School.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even touch the letter because I knew no one will support me.
Yes.
A pastor, I met a pastor.
Pastor who? What's the name?
He's known as Pastor Aldo Moro, Tom Dege. He has a school in Aldo Rebi Junior Academy. Tom Dege, Aldo Moro. Okay. SDA.
When did you meet him in Oyugis?
In Oyugis. He convinced me and he told me, gentlemen, Go and repeat in my school. I'll take care. I went to Al-Dorebi Junior Academy in 2009 now. That is my sixth attempt.
Location?
Narok. Ndulele.
Ndulele.
Yes.
Okay. This 2009 or 8?
2009 now.
9 now, yeah.
That is my sixth attempt.
Yes.
In life, I've never been in a problem than the one I met in Narok. Because you know, he was training pastor, choir. He could move to Bugema, Uganda, Nini. You are there staying in a room. You don't have anything to eat, you see. So I used to collect A sometime. I go pick A,
Yes.
yeah, picking them, loading them to lorry trucks. I am getting 100, 200, maintaining me. I really struggled. By then. I got at Aldorebi, Ndulele. Life was very hard because it is far away. I don't know anybody there, you see. So it was pure Sasa manual works and struggling. I really struggled. You know, what was affecting my performance was stability, environment. When you are psychologically stable and your environment is okay, you can perform higher. But when you struggle to get your food, or you are struggling also to get scholarship, to pass high, you know, it is challenging. So I used to collect hay to survive, to some police officers and a few teachers and business people around. I sat for KCPE, I got 4-1. I was admitted to Kapsabet Boys High School.
Among your classmates, the candidates in that particular year, what position did you take in terms of ranking in your class KCPE results?
I used to be number 1 in many a times.
So you were certainly the best student
during that time. Then,
do you join Kapsabet?
I still have the letter with me. I didn't join Kapsabet. Life was hard. I stayed there. You know, even the promise I was given, it was never fulfilled, but I thank God for them. See, when I was being told to go repeat there, I was told that there was a month I'll be supported and what have you.
I know. You
know, many a times those who were calling me to repeat, they are promising, or being given big promises that they will give you a scholarship. I know so and so. I know so and so.
But then another thing happens back in Nyanza.
Yes.
Really true. People always, you know, want you, if you're a student that does well in school, they'll want you to come and sit in a particular school so that you leave the name of the school.
That definitely was
to happen.
After. Yeah, it used to happen. It happened to me. Then I stayed. You know, over my real work was Mujengo over the holiday. Even when I was waiting for the result, that's why I was admitted to Kapsabet. It was Mujengo full time. I did Mujengo.
You went to Kapsabet?
I didn't go to Kapsabet.
Still at Narok?
No, I left Narok. Immediately after KCPE, I went back to Oyugis.
Oh.
Yeah, I left Narok.
Okay.
So at Oyugis is where, no.
So Narok, this is now your 6th attempt or 7th?
That is the 7th attempt.
Yes.
I went to, you know, Ilibris Hotel in Oyugis.
Yes.
I was doing Mujengo there.
So now you leave Narok after doing KCPE and you've got an admission at Kapsabet school.
Yes.
But you can't join because the person, then of this school where you start your KCPE did not keep his word to take you through high school.
Exactly.
Now you come back to Oyugis.
I came back to Oyugis.
What do you do at Oyugis during this time?
Mujengo for survival.
Okay. Who do you live with?
I was living alone.
At a rental?
A rental, 200 per month. I was doing to the duration when I see that it is almost the deadline to repeating school up to February there. When I didn't get the support, definitely I go back I look for where to go and repeat. So afterwards, when I saw there was nothing coming over, I went to a Bishop Ongiro school in Kosele, known as Agape Junior Academy. I stayed in Agape.
Was this a school that was doing well?
Yes. I registered still, KCPE. That is my 8th attempt. Did
you pay the enrollment money?
No, I was being supported fully by the Bishop.
Yes. This is now 2010.
2010. I sat KCPE, I scored 400, admitted again, Maranda High School.
Yes.
I didn't even touch, I don't know even how that letter looked like, up to date.
You didn't go for it?
I was really disappointed. Then I stayed. By then now, I said no, I have to look for the strategy. I've been going to school and not excelling. So the only thing
you are excelling, but you are not progressing.
Yes. The only thing I can do is to look for a district where even those who scored 3 something are the best. So I checked the list of Jans. I was seeing Nyando district by then had few academies, you see. And during this time is when Nani introduced, Ole Kiapi and Professor Sam Ongeri introduced that priority to be given public primary school. So I say no to any private school. Let me check. So I went to there checking where to stay, where to repeat, with all in vain. I went to Ringanao. I got a school known as Oriri Primary School. Oriri Primary School, the leading there used to be 290, 300. I enrolled at Oriri. Full-time, manual laborer, full-time class time
you were finding
student.
time to go and,
I was looking for the least school. I said I've been looking for the best school where I've taken places. So I said
be the best and be considered.
Yeah. So I said I want the least school because I have the brain. I don't care whether they have good teachers or not. I want to go to the least school so far. I went to Oriri Primary. I know number 2 I defeated with more than 90 marks. You see?
You got how many marks?
I got 4.3 and I think he got 320 something. Yeah, it is a history.
Because it wasn't a mark.
So
nobody had probably might have taken long.
So at Oriri is where I see things, but nobody is happy with someone's success.
Who are these?
I remember one time after sitting and after being admitted to Nairobi school, there was a professor who was looking for somebody to sponsor, and a teacher in the same Oriri Primary School saying that I am a resource student. I am being paid to go do exam and steal exam to other students in order for me to gain. So
he was spoiling for you?
Yes, he was spoiling for me. And even then.
So you sit exam. You see when you are done with the KCPE.
Yes.
And were you admitted to a school?
I sat for KCPE and I was admitted to Nairobi school now.
Yes.
This is my 9th attempt at Oriri. The last attempt.
Yes.
At Oriri. And even the villagers, they were not happy because you are not.
Villagers in Oriri.
In Oriri.
Which you don't even belong there.
And even I don't even know them. They, no, this one has been brought to block chances to our children. Yes. And their children, nobody has passed, you see. So I struggled. And by then I said, I am not going back. I said, no, I am not going back to do KCPE again. I said, no, I'm not going. I'm not that product now.
So do you join Nairobi school?
I was at Rongo now doing Mujenga again. I relocated to Rongo because I was tired of Yugis now.
Yes.
I was relocated to Rongo. You know the reason why I used to go to different school, I was avoiding humiliation because you are known, you have sat for KCPE and you have passed well and nobody, you still want to repeat. So
and some of your classmates
have joined, are almost more completing. It's also hurting you psychologically. He said no. I went to Rongo, and then by then KCB started also picking because there was also Wings to Fly equity. I applied KCB.
But why didn't you apply the previous?
It was not there. But you know, during our 2010 equity Wings to Fly said fully you must be public primary, and I sat in academy.
Yeah, most of the time.
I was admitted to Nairobi school. Over 400 marks. So I applied KCB. Then they wanted the chief, assistant chief, and to sign somewhere, and the primary head teacher. When I reached Oyugis, I met somebody there. He called Mr. Tieno. He was operating a shop and a restaurant. The son also had passed, was admitted at Kanga by then. So he's telling me, no, Equity, I had also applied for Equity. I had the form. Hey, Equity is doing Nini today, interview today. And I was not even shortlisted for the interview. I didn't take my application letter because I was tired. I was saying, all these are none. So
but you go.
I was encouraged by Mr. Tieno. I said, go, I'm the one taking you now. Let's go. He decided to take me. You know me, I'm a body. I had a body even from then, but he's a slim guy.
Yes.
So I went and explained to Arnold. Arnold was the one picking now, calling people for interview.
What was his position?
He was also one operation manager, Equity Bank Kisumu. They were in the panel. He was among the panel.
But they're now in Oyugis.
They are now in Oyugis Hillbreeze Hotel, where I used to do construction. So I stayed there. I explained. I said, I'm just from Nairobi now, and I heard that you have an interview. I have struggled. When you look at me, look at my face. I've been to Kanga, I've been to Maseno. I have struggled to get this education. Then he was surprised. Hey, but wait, just wait. If there will be a chance, I'll give you an opportunity to go.
Because you are not submitted your documents.
I have not submitted my documents, but he took my document there and checked and said, fill here. He was touched. Then where I had not filled, I wrote everything. Then I gave him. Then he told me, just wait there. I'll deal with this one first to go for interview. Then you will be the last. And I was the last at 7:30.
7:30 in the evening?
In the evening, the PM. How
did the interview go?
When we got in with Mr. Tieno, the panelists, they asked, who is the student? I said, no.
Because maybe they thought it was him.
I said, I'm the student.
Yes.
I narrated my story. And let me tell you, that day from the interview, I was given 2,000 for supper.
Who gave you this money?
It happened that the head of the chapter manager, the trans manager, Mr. Tom Kuyo, he happened to be also alumni of Nairobi School. And I was admitted to Nairobi School after doing all those struggles. So people were jovial and say, no. I knew I've been taken.
Yes.
Hey, I knew. So,
you go. Where do you go after the interview? This around 7, 8.
7 to stay in that kind of my house where I used to reside.
But they tell you they'll speak, they'll give you a response, maybe.
I had a phone and they called, they came to my house, Nini, everything. We were taken to Kasarani and everything was arranged, and I joined Nairobi School. What's going through
your mind during this time when now you're in the midst of
I'm telling you, the day I was picked is the following day is when I went and applied for national identity card. I was not applying for national identity card because, you know, by then Professor Sam Ongeri was keen on the age and what, you see. So I used to change my age.
Yes.
So the day I was picked is the day I rushed home. The 2,000 I was given, I rushed home to Papunditi and I applied for national ID. And that time I said, no, all the problems are done. I will do it. Then I was admitted in Nairobi School.
You joined?
Fortunately, when I was joining Nairobi, I was thinking of what am I going to tell now the teachers that, because I know I will be the oldest in the school.
Yes.
But by reaching the school, I found that the information had already reached the teachers. They were completely waiting for me. Oh, Nyamlori is here now. I said, oh, home at last. And I was relieved.
They were anticipating for your coming.
Yes. Home at last. I didn't explain anything. I was given care. psychological support. Then I started reading now.
Who was the principal at this time?
The principal at Nairobi School, it was a coincidence. The principal of Kapsabet boys, when I was getting the letter then, is the one who has been transferred to Nairobi School.
Did you ever meet?
Mr. Cleophas Terop. No, I didn't go.
But you shared with him?
I shared with him my Kapsabet story. So, I was admitted in Nairobi.
Where is he today?
He went and he was commissioner at TSC, then nowadays I see he's aspiring to be the governor of Singishu County.
Oh, okay. But they gave you great support throughout your school?
Excellent support, wonderful support.
Equity was sponsoring your education?
Everything, fair, everything, shopping.
You know, these are the projects that I think Equity Bank and especially James Mwangi, the CEO, has been able to do to support the society.
Let me tell you, when I was given the equity and I saw the shopping is full, everything, I say, oh, God, this is what you had planned for me.
Now, do this. I want you to look at the camera and tell Dr. James Mwangi a word or two. I mean, by expressing just what you feel about their support through high school.
Dr. James Mwangi, CEO Equity, what you did to my life was very wonderful. I had struggled, sat for KCPE 9 times, 8 times by then, trying to do this and this, knocking several doors, including the one for politicians. But God touched you and you brought your panelists to come and picked me from nowhere. Now that I'm graduating to be a policy expert who can solve any problem in any organization, who identify the problem affecting both non-governmental organization and profit-making organization. Now I am a professional expert because of Dr. James Mwangi initiative. May God bless you until you are 3rd generation. Yes, if there is a chance in Equity, that is a home. That is a home.
That's your home.
Where I was molded, where I was lifted after stagnating for a long time. I will work honestly to make sure that I perform to the best of my ability. Okay. Equity scholarship had so many psychological supports. You are given everything and you are asked how you feel and the problem you are undergoing. Why are you not performing? Why are you not doing this? You see, Equity do follow up. You are attached to a mentor right from Form 1. Though me, I didn't need a mentor because, you know, I was far much even older than those mentees. You see? So, by giving out shopping, is making you be to the level. You have students from well-to-do family, of which they have everything. But when you also have yours, you are at the same level. My experience, the staff in Equity were very caring. You know, Equity, the staff of the bank, the branch where you were picked, are the one taking care of you, following you up. They were very friendly, and they gave us full support. Needed to give somebody, a scholar who is learning. So it is an excellent scholarship body which take care of everything, including psychosocial support, to make sure that students excel. You do your best because you are the best when you are being picked. So they make sure that they nurture you such that your output is the best at last.
How do you have a source of income? Like, how do you take care of yourself? How it works?
I don't have any income. I was fully depending on help. I was being given help, which is 45,000 per year. So it is being divided, half for first semester, half for second semester, 22,500. So you see, whatever.
That is tuition, or it's inclusive?
It was paying everything. So it is tuition. We used to pay 15,700. Yeah, for your upkeep. So I used to stay in a hostel. I stayed in hostel. I became even a congress in an hostel. at KU. So the supplement of whatever I'm doing, sometimes I do online writing.
Yeah.
I was nurtured to do online writing to support myself but after COVID, you saw everything was affected. You hardly get how to write those articles. You hardly get the job. I still struggle. I am a man. But at least now, you know, after going through academic work, academic field, that interactive nature, somebody can tell you, I'm selling this car. Can you get somebody to buy? Yes. You get something commission. So generally now I don't have any permanent job. I don't have anything I'm doing. I'm just waiting there. Whatever will be there. I pick it. I do it for my survival.
Did you want to pursue public policy and administration or anything related to that while you were growing up? Or what did
while I was growing up, I wanted to be in the field of medicine. But you know, after going through all those challenges, you know, in counseling or in psychology, whenever you go through problem, your even IQ reduce a bit. Because after struggling, it is unfortunate that when I was in Nairobi school, my mom turned blind, lost sight when I was in Form 2. So, you know, I was struggling also to support my mom at home. Even the shopping I was getting in Equity, I used to divide.
Your dad?
My dad is very old. He's 87 years old now. So it also affected me a bit, but I will never regret. Because, you know, I struggle, but you can't see somebody surviving and you can help. No, I'm not of that type. I always help. Even now, I am a philanthropic in nature. Because I said, if not for philanthropic nature of James Mwangi, yes, I would have not been so where I am.
That
into me. So I can see somebody surviving and I have something in my pocket.
So it's through your online writings and all these things that you do where you get commission that you are able to buy food, pay your rent, commute to school?
Yes, it is just through that one. But currently it is not there. Currently you can bid a job and you get it. After 2 weeks, you get a job of 1,200 or 1,000. You see, it is a struggle, but I hope one time things will change and it will be back to normal. Hello, Kenyans. This is Matthew Aol Nyamlori, a policy expert. I know it is a new course. Many people are not acquainted with it. But Bachelor of Public Policy and Administration, we dwell most in solving problems. You get that most of these non-governmental organizations or government organizations, some of them are doing losses because of problems. So we identify problems and we solve those problems. I personally am a professional expert, policy expert, which can come up, analyze data, come up with sound policy of any organization and make sure that the problem is solved so that the organization is run smoothly. I can do it very well. I am computer literate. I can produce, I can process data and make it into use in a simpler form. So any organization who is willing to help me get something to support my partially blind mother who lost sight in 2013, my old father who is 85 years old. You can get me from Facebook, Matthew Aol Nyamlori. You can get me from Twitter. My Twitter account is @AolMatthew2. You can get me from LinkedIn. My LinkedIn account is Matthew Aol. I'll be very much grateful to exploit my potential and my experience in your organization, to interact with you, to support you, to make sure that you run your organization smoothly. I am a very honest citizen of Kenya who has struggled to make sure that I complete the 844 system. Thank you.
Dickens Kichop, Nation Digital.